So deck is done. Next step is for us to trim up, to take our trims. So on the side where you're going to have a drip trim, you want to allow 60 to 75 mm overhang from your joists or from your trimmer, whatever however you finish it. And reason being, that will be enough for you to then have your clips fitted, and your actual drip will be sort of more or less middle of the gutter. This is not enough, that's 45 mm, and I am adding another piece of timber. And why I'm doing that, there's several ways you can do it. So if you look here, you got a round on a trim. So by having two parts, what I'm doing, I'm fitting this lower like that on. Again, I'll nail it, use the glue, etc. And that way I avoid me of routing the corner off, because if you fit it onto the square, what it will do, it will bulge your trim, so it won't fit nicely. However, on sides, what you want to do, you want to allow 35 mm. So here I got a batten, and I will put a 10 mm spacer, because that's what that's a timber I had. But normally I would get 2x2 and trim it to fit. But because we had some batten, I will use that instead. So remember, on the front where your drip is, you need 65 mm overhang roughly. On the sides where your upstand trims are, you want to have a 35 mm overhang. And what will that ensure? That when your trims are on, then you will have enough gap to get your fascia board behind without forcing the trim away from your batten. Because what you got to do, if you remember, you need to put like a stick sole or some sort of adhesive like that when you put your trims on. And what that does, that stops trims from flapping in high winds, etc. Because I have seen myself when they get teared off in storms, where if it hasn't stuck for some reason, the trims, which could happen if you haven't used acetone and cleaned the trims, because they do have that fine dust. So do that as well before you start fitting the trims. Use tissue and acetone and clean those trims dry, because they have the fine dust on them sometimes, and that's how you're going to ensure that it does stick to the timber you're going to be attaching it to. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. So I'm gonna carry on and fit them myself, and then once I've done it, I will show you what I've got. So I hope you're gonna enjoy it, and I'll catch you in a bit. So, just to catch up everyone. So what I'm doing now is sanding the corners in. Because yesterday what I wanted to get done was get the trims done, which we did, and also get the bandage done. So what we'll do next, or what we have to do next, one of the jobs to prime these joints in the boards. So we don't have to put bandage on every joint, because this is tongue and groove OSB board. So if you would have a squared edge A4 sheet, you would have to do a bandage on every joint, also leaving expansion joints a 3mm, where with this you naturally have expansion joints. It's made to have expansion, and also therefore you don't really need to have a bandage with Flexitec system anyway. If you would have different system, you might have to do it as with Curate. You had to do that. You had to still bandage, but with Flexitec you don't. So what I'm doing now, I'm gonna sand these corners around, make them look prettier, because what I could have done yesterday, I could have used the finishing tissue on the corners, which I didn't. The reason being is I wanted to get done what we had to do. But now what I'll do, before we're gonna put matting, we got to obviously put our prime on joints, and whilst that's going off, I will dress these joint places with tissue, but I'll sand it before and then add tissue to make it smoother and better finish. And then before we do matting, we will paint all the trims, so we don't have to mess it out later on. So that's the plan. I hope you've been enjoying it, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. Once you've done your corners and primed your joints, next you want to mark out 900 width of the roll, and you want to prepare your roll of fiberglass. So you kind of want to dry fit it to make sure it all fits, because when you're going to be mixing up the resin, you want to have really time for that. So you want to make sure you got everything ready, and maybe number which of the rolls is which, so you know exactly where it's going. So I'll do that now. I know that when I cut, that might be my first one, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth roll. So I'll just do that and get that ready, and we'll then move on to getting resin mixed and laid the last boards. Right, once you prepped everything for your job, which is resin, mostly hardener, rolls of your fiberglass, get ready and make, obviously start from the furthest. From the side you don't have ladder on, so you don't end up blocking yourself in, because obviously once you've done it, that's it, there's no way back. You're gonna have to wait like half an hour to get down. So yeah, with this you need to allow about 50 to 100 mil lap on the rolls. Don't forget about that, so it dies all in. And yeah, take your time and just get on with it. So yeah, without further ado, I'll make a start on this.